everybody. How are you all doing? Let me double check. I always like to check on my phone too to make sure that we are live. It's been a really good day, actually. We have not gone anywhere unless you count like a going out for a walk. So we spent like 10 minutes walking outside and just trying to relax and get ready for school starting on Thursday. So we are on day number 2 of Grocery Budget Busters. We've been talking about just the different items that you buy at the store that you might be wasting money on, and I'm giving tips on how to either buy it cheaper or even make your own. Hey Shirley, I'm glad to see you here with me. So it looks like it's working. Let me turn off my phone because I get distracted watching myself. Like I see my face, I'm like, oh wait, who is that strange person? So yesterday we talked about pre-cooked chicken. We talked about boneless chicken breast and pre-cut produce. So today I am talking about 3 things that are basically the bread and butter of my saving money on groceries. Hey Andrea, I'm glad you're here joining me again today. So these 3 things, a couple of them are kind of kid related, but it can also apply to just grown-ups as well, because the first one here is the Uncrustable sandwiches. If you have kids, do your kids love those Uncrustables? Because Allison's like, last year while she was at school, she's like, I want to buy my lunch. I want to buy. I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to eat today? I want the peanut butter and jelly, which is really, it's an Uncrustable sandwich and then string cheese and I think goldfish. And I'm like, gosh, that's like $2.50 for lunch or something like that. Like, I can make this for you, girl, but I let her have it a couple times. Hey Wanda, I'm glad that you are here. Yes, the replay is here, so you can watch it or listen to it later if you like. Um, Uncrustable sandwiches. I did the research on the prices for these at Kroger. Now these are frozen boxes of peanut butter and jelly. The 4 count box is $3.29 for 4 sandwiches. Lucy, I'm glad that you're joining me today. Let's see. Um, so these Uncrustable sandwiches, they have more sugar in them. The peanut butter that they use has some sugar in it. There's high fructose corn syrup in it from the jelly, so not great ingredients. I think they do make a whole wheat version, but still, making these yourself is so much cheaper and healthier. So I did the math on how to make your own as well. Buying a loaf of whole wheat bread, $1.29. Natural peanut butter, my Kroger brand is like so cheap for the natural. It's $1.79 and the only ingredients are peanuts and salt. So I always buy that particular kind because it's cheap. Um, a jar of preserves, like strawberry preserves, is $1.99. There's still some sugar in it, but it's not quite as much as the other stuff. So total cost for all that is $5.07. And I bought a Pampered Chef sandwich cutter on Amazon. It's $10 for one of those like circular things. You put it on the sandwich and you press down, you twist, and it's an Uncrustable. Like it looks just like this, just like the Uncrustable sandwiches. And when I do this myself, I can get 11 sandwiches for $5.07. So breaking it all down, a store-bought Uncrustable is 82 cents per sandwich, and the homemade ones are 46 cents per sandwich. Plus, you still have leftover peanut butter and leftover jelly, so you can make more at a later time. So that's like half off if you decide to make it yourself versus buying it at the store. So Uncrustables is number one. I actually did a video a couple weeks ago, I think. I did some back to school freezer meals, and the Uncrustables were one of them. So I have like 11 sandwiches in the freezer. I've been getting them out every couple days or so. So Shirley, you like making your own peanut butter and jelly. Try doing Uncrustables. Never comes out right. Do you have the Uncrustable maker, like the Pampered Chef thing? I know sometimes with me, pressing it down and then trying to pull it back up again, it gets stuck in there. And sometimes like the crust doesn't come off all the way. So what I try to do is like flatten the bread just a little bit to try and make it wider. And that way when I press down on it, I get all the crust off and it seems to seal pretty well for me. So Uncrustables was number one. Number two, this does seem obvious, but name brand items. There is such a huge price difference between name brand items and store brand, but a lot of us say that we prefer to buy certain name brand items, and that's totally okay because sometimes there is a taste difference. So what are some things that you guys will only buy name brand of? I'm interested to see like your tastes and your differences. I I blog about healthy food, okay? But I gotta say, Kraft macaroni and cheese is the one thing that I will buy name brand because like Aldi brand, other store brands, they just do not add up to this Kraft macaroni and cheese. Thankfully, well, unluckily for John, we only eat it maybe like once a month, if that. But yes, Kraft macaroni and cheese is the one thing that I will buy name brand of over any other brand. So a couple of examples of items that are name brand versus store brand and their prices. Um, Andrea, you kind of beat me to it. I was going to get to that here in a second. But yes, you can use coupons and you can actually buy name brand items cheaper when they're on sale, like with coupons. So that is excellent and definitely right. I love Kroger Crazy because she goes through all the things for you and breaks it all down and shows you can get it for this price with the coupons, and it is excellent. I see mayonnaise, peanut butter for name brands. Yes, definitely. So just looking at some of the name brand items, the Cheez-Its, a box of Cheez-Its is $2.99 per box, whereas the Kroger brand is $1.79 per box. Hummus at Kroger. Now Kroger doesn't have a store brand like regular. I think they may have an organic brand, but not like a just a regular hummus. It's $3.99 versus $1.99 at Aldi. And then sliced cheese, I think is the Sargento brand, I think it was, $3.79 versus $1.79 for sliced cheese. That's like an insane price difference. But yes, like Andrea and I said, you can get name brand items a lot cheaper, like when they're on sale. So keep an eye out. A lot of times, those particular items will be on sometimes the front page of the ad, sometimes like a part of their buy five and save $5 events and 10 for 10 sales and things like that. You can usually get them pretty cheap. I do like making my own hummus. It's been forever since I've made it really, and I think it's because I'm pretty much the only person that eats it. I'm pretty sure it's freezable, so I will have to maybe try it again and see. So name brands is number two. Number three, um, I'm gonna kind of get like Betty Crocker on you guys. Breads and other baked goods. Now I know, well, we all know that homemade is healthier, just plain tastes better. Like there is nothing better than a fresh loaf of bread just out of the oven. Like it is the best. Chocolate hummus, yes. I've had the store brand. I think I actually made a brownie hummus one time. It is delicious. I'm gonna have to make that again. Allison actually ate that actually. But, I know that sometimes making your own bread just isn't feasible. Like, for me, I buy sandwich bread rather than make it most of the time because with Allison's peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, it's so much easier to make the Uncrustables with like store-bought bread for some reason. My bread is typically a little firmer, maybe denser, whereas the store-bought is softer. So I usually buy sandwich loaves. But bread outlet stores, I don't know if you guys have ever looked at a bread outlet store in your area. There are quite a few different kinds. There's an Entenmann's in my area. There's Aunt Millie's. There was a Schwebel's, I think it's called. was also a Hostess one a long time ago as well. But like if you Google bread outlet store in your area, try and find one because I can get like organic breads for 50 cents a loaf. They also sell hamburger buns, hot dog buns, like English muffins, bagels, tortillas, pitas, anything you can think of. And like 50 cents to a dollar, it's an amazing price. Frozen hummus is not the same. That is good to know before I tried making it. So I will, yeah, try to make a smaller batch for myself. So the things that I typically try to make instead of buy are dinner rolls and breadsticks. You can totally make your own for so much cheaper. So I did the research at Kroger. A package of dinner rolls from Kroger's bakery is $2.59 for a 12 count. And breadsticks, the one that I saw was Kroger's brand, like frozen breadsticks, six of them for $1.69. Now, they definitely are a lot more convenient to buy, trust me. I have a bread machine. You don't need a bread machine to make the bread items, but it certainly does help. So if you were to buy, let's see, a bag of flour is $1.39 at my Aldi. And yeast unfortunately is the expensive part. It's $4. However, a 5 pound bag of flour has 20 cups of flour in it. So a loaf of, or not, well, a loaf of bread too, but like dinner rolls and breadsticks usually use between 2 and 3 cups. So if you buy a bag of flour, that can easily get you like six whole like recipes worth. And with yeast, you only need maybe 1 to 1.5 teaspoons per recipe. So, excuse me, if a container of yeast has 35 teaspoons, that's like 30-ish recipes you can use. So $4 is a lot up front, but you can make more and more and more. So my breadstick recipe, let's see, it calls for brown sugar and olive oil and salt. So you guys might have some of that at home as well. Just with that and the flour and the yeast, it makes 16 breadsticks as opposed to like buying six at Kroger. So like I said, you might pay more upfront, but it's going to save you so much money in the long run. I've got a couple of recipes I'm going to put here in the comments. So I've got a couple of blog posts with my breadstick recipe, and I've got a dinner roll recipe I'm going to add in here as well. These are super easy. And I have frozen the already baked versions of these, so I know that the baked versions freeze well. I'm pretty sure you can freeze the dough too. Like if you make the dough and you portion it out into either the dinner rolls or the breadsticks, you can freeze them like that. Like flash freeze them, put them in a gallon-sized freezer bag. Then when you're ready to bake them, you can just get them out, let them thaw a little bit, and then bake them. So, cookie dough is another one. It is so easy to make those or to buy the place and bake cookies, and those are so much fun. You can actually make your own cookie dough. I mean, obviously you can make your own cookie dough. You can freeze cookie dough as well. Let me post this here. I just did a video on this last week of my freezer chocolate chip cookies. I made the dough, used the cookie scoop, put them on the baking pan, and froze them. I actually got them all out on Sunday to bake them for small group. It was like an emergency. Oh my gosh, we don't have a dessert. So I saved the day. I'm like, I've got cookie dough in the freezer. So I made some cookies. Another baked good you can make yourself, those Entenmann's Little Bites. I'm talking about kids again, but those bags of the mini muffins, like the blueberry muffins, the chocolate chip muffins, Allison totally loves them, but they are super expensive. Once again, I've got another recipe. Let me grab this. These double chocolate spinach banana muffins. I think this recipe shows 12 of them, like a batch of 12, but you can put them in a miniature muffin tin to get 24 of them, and they're like super small. They're the same size as those miniature Entenmann's Little Bites, and Allison will eat these. These have less sugar. This one actually has spinach in it and banana, so they are pretty healthy. I actually have some of these in the freezer to go with her lunches this week. So I think that's all the recipes I've got. Yes. So just like yesterday, I'm going to break this all down by price. So let's say you buy 2 boxes of Uncrustables. You buy a box of Cheez-Its, a container of hummus, a package of sliced cheese, the Sargento brand. These are all like the name brands, and a package of dinner rolls. Your total is $19.94. If you were to buy, on the other hand, a loaf of bread, peanut butter, jelly, store brand, the store brand Cheez-Its, store brand hummus, the store brand sliced cheese, and then a bag of flour and a container of yeast, you're paying 1603. So 1994, 1603. However, you can get more out of your peanut butter and your jelly, your flour and your yeast that way. So it doesn't look like a huge savings, but a lot of that stuff that you just bought, you can use over and over again. So those are the three for today. We've got Uncrustables, name brands, and then like all sorts of bread and baked goods. And like we said, some of this is you can buy out of convenience because sometimes it's just necessary to buy pre-packaged stuff. Like hummus, I know I can make my own hummus, and I sometimes do. Sometimes it's just easier to buy my own as well. Keep that in mind. Also, coupons. You can get name brands on sale with coupons and things like that. So tomorrow, day 3, I've got like a bunch of random little items that I came up with. Just little things that like, okay, I bought on occasion, but oh, it is definitely cheaper to do it this way. So come back tomorrow at 1 p.m. EST. I've got the very last Grocery Budget Busters. I am very glad you guys have joined me, and I will see you tomorrow afternoon.